However, this will not stay live on the other on every platform. So you must be here live with us in the webinar if you want to stay on for the full presentation. So just testing this out. And so, anyways, we're gonna get started in a minute as we are welcoming everybody in. Hold on, let me make one, two. There we go. Okay, just making sure. There we go. And yes. Alrighty. Let's see here. Let me see, because I want to make sure I can invite people in. So I think I should be able to do it like this. We'll see. So, anyways, if you guys can hear me okay, just go ahead and let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me on today as we get ready to go live and discuss how you're going to get booked, get seen, get paid more in 2026. Yes, thank you, Mary. I appreciate you. God bless you, and happy Sunday to everybody. So, so we're about to get into some things. Hold on one sec. I just want to make sure I send out my last message. I guess I did not send this out. I thought I did, but I don't think I did. So I'm going to send a quick message and then we're going to get the party started on this good Sunday. We're not going to be here too long today, y'all. I promise to bring you guys some good value. And so, we are live. Oh, Lord. So, yep, that works. How to get booked, get seen, and get paid with Taria Vaught. And again, I'm excited to have you here. I'm blessed, I'm grateful, and I pray that you guys are blessed and grateful as well. So, anywho, live, sending the text, and we're good to go. All right, so now I am going to get ready to share my screen so you guys can see this. And if you are watching on social media, again, we are going to go through a portion of the presentation on social. But if you want to see the full, you're going to need to go to this link, Visibility into Profits. Click on the calendar. Click on the calendar. And in the calendar, that is where you're going to be able to get the full presentation. Okay. So make sure that you click on the calendar, but I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and you guys let me know. So let me pull it up over here. I'm using two different platforms at the same time. So just want to make sure we can get all this up, this good stuff on here. So y'all should be able to see there. And then on streaming, let me stream it as well. And then again, as I've stated, guys, if you're watching us on stream, we'll have this live, but you won't be able to see the full presentation. You will need to actually join in by going to the link that you see below. That's how you join our community. And then go to the calendar. And in the calendar is where you will see the Google Meets link, And so everybody should see my screen. If you guys can see the screen, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up on the emojis. Give me a thumbs up. And if you are watching on social, just say, I can see, I can see, I can see. And we're going to get this started. Oh, y'all can't see on social. Now you can see on social. There we go. Good. So just put, I can see, I can see, I can see, or give me a thumbs up on the in Google Meets. Are y'all giving me a thumbs up? Let me see here. Can y'all see? Can y'all see? Okay, yes, you are. All right. Well, let's get into some things. All right, you guys. So anyway, so again, this is all about learning how to get booked, get seen, get paid. I'm gonna just tell you guys, we have been focused in, honed in on getting on more platforms, and y'all, just this month alone, we've already booked over 3 podcast appearances, 1 speaking event. And now I'm super excited because we've also now started to get other of our clients, AKA members, booked on platforms. And so I would like to know in the chat, when it comes to being on the platforms, what platforms are you interested in being booked on? Is it more speaking stages? Is it more podcast? Is it more media outlets? What is it? And put that in the chat for me and let me know, guys. What are you guys interested in being booked on more of? Because hopefully that is why you're here today, to get on those platforms. Now, I just want to make sure, guys, also, please make sure that once you have gone to this link, Visibility into Profits, of course, that means that you would now have joined our community here, the VIP in BPC community and you want to join, and make sure to join us tomorrow for Money Mondays. We just went over literally 2 weeks of how to be able to get leads, you guys, utilizing two incredible tools that you can use to build up your lead systems. Because this is the thing, if you guys are wanting to get on the platforms, I'm not seeing anybody type in the chat. Okay. Humbly says podcast and media outlets. Okay, it's coming in now. Mary says speaking stages and podcasts. Okay, how about everybody else? Because we got a couple of people here. We've got Barbara here, Crystal here, Erica here, Lexi here, Marshawn here, The Proof here, Vernon here. Definitely, this is a participation group here. So we want you to participate. Let us know exactly in the chat where you're trying to get booked. However, you want to make sure, guys, that you join into the community, because just this past week, past 2 weeks, we went over literally how to get leads to build your business. Let me just be very transparent, guys. When you get on the stages, the purpose of getting visible is so that you can make more money, right? I hope that is the purpose of being visible. And so once you get on the stage, you also have to really know how to nurture those leads, whether it's businesses that are leads or individual persons that are leads. And so make sure to join us for our VIP into the BPC Money Mondays. This Monday, it'll be myself. And on our first Monday, we're going to have one of our special elite members that you're going to get a chance to meet. Also, when you join into the community, guys, if you don't already have access, all you got to do is just shoot me a message and you will get access in the classroom to the $300 voucher for restaurants. And there's a $300 hotel voucher, but you must be in the community. And then shoot me a message. Just respond back to the message and let me know, hey, listen, can I get access to that? And it is available, but it does have to be opened up for you once you have joined into the community. All right. The Proof says, the Proof, what is your name? What's your full name, Chad? The Proof says stages. Lexi, and then Marshawn says speaking stages and podcasts. Absolutely awesome. Thank you guys so much. Okay, good. And so make sure to get your voucher. All right. Now, here, I want to talk about reasons why businesses actually fail. Okay. And I don't believe that a business fails because it doesn't have great product, that it doesn't have a great idea. But I do believe businesses fail for some specific reasons. And these are the top 5 reasons according to Forbes. According to Forbes, the reason number 1 is because many people that are selling their products, their services, they're not really in touch with their customers. Guys, the truth is this. I'm going to be very real honest. Marketing your business is much more different than understanding the purpose of your business. And where a lot of people fail is they don't know how to market themselves, even when speaking on stages. People have no true understanding what it is that you do because we're not connecting to the customers. We're more so just focusing on what it is that we want to, on what our purpose is versus being able to know how to market that. Number 2 is no real differentiation in the market. Guys, if you sound like every single other person that's on the stage, if you're not willing to go a little bit against the grain, if you're not willing to stand out, it's very difficult to grow. Number 3, failure to communicate. This goes back to number 1, your value propositions in clear, concise, and compelling fashion. Again, getting on speaking stages, getting on a podcast, getting on media and things of that nature, if you are not able to clearly explain what the transformation is, and I'm going to be transparent, guys, when you get booked on these stages, if you're just saying, hey, I want to help empower people, I want to help change people's lives, that is not clear, concise, and for the most part, let's just be honest, it's not as compelling as someone that says, I'm going to show you how to launch your business in 90 days or less. I am going to show you how to establish a better relationship with your boss in the next 30 days. I'm going to show you how to get a 30% raise. All 3 of those people are empowering the persons that they're talking to, but they're very specific. Does that make sense, everybody? If that makes sense, I want you guys to drop a $ in the chat. Drop a $ in the chat, right? Leadership breakdown at the top. Hello, can I get an amen? Right? We got to have good leadership. And then inability to nail a profitable business model. I'm just going to be honest, y'all. If nobody's buying, Why do we keep on pushing it? And it's not that we need to change the product or change the transformation, but we do have to be able to create a profitable marketing business model. And if you're not, then we got to adjust it, right? It's got to make sense. If it don't make money, it don't make sense. And so, marketing costs. This is another reason too. On top of that, is because a lot of business owners do not like to invest into themselves. Whether you're an author, whether you're a speaker. I was talking to a young lady the other day who does consulting work. And for a long time, she never really positioned and saw herself necessarily in the marketing space because she never really had to kind of like promote her business or market it. But then after having conversations, she realized, you know what? No, I am a business owner, but now I'm ready to scale. I'm ready to scale to seven figures. And I asked her, I said, okay, well, what kind of marketing budget do you have? Well, I just want to rest on word of mouth. And yes, word of mouth marketing is great. But the truth is that it costs money to market your business. It costs money to speak on stages. Even if, let's just say, this is not a speaking stage where you necessarily have to pay to speak, but it costs money to get there. You got to get your suit, you got to get your hair done, whether it's cut, get it curled, get it, whatever it is for the men and the women. You've got to be presentable. That's marketing costs. If you are have a book, you got to invest into your books. You got to have your books up front, right? That's not free. So you got to have your books in order to go speak. Who know what I'm talking about? Like, I got a big event that I'm speaking at next month, and my goal is to have at least about 100 books minimum on me. Well, that's a marketing expense that I have to pay up front. But what many people are not doing, and this is a large majority of many businesses, we're just relying upon um, and I like to call this rented media or rented visibility. And I'll talk more to you guys about that instead of earned visibility and owned visibility. And so you have to be willing to invest into your business. Is everybody with me still? If you guys are with me, let me know. Let me know. Right. So you got to be willing to invest into your business. Now, let me tell you something, y'all. So, first of all, if you have followed me for just a little bit, maybe a 30 to 90 days, you know that for a while now, I have worked with authors. Matter of fact, since 2015, I've helped authors, but not all authors. I specifically work with authors who are speakers, coaches, leaders, or wish to be, right? And so for me, the reason why I got into this space is really, I'm gonna tell you that story in a minute, but I really learned quickly how having the right book that has a specific result, and I'm slowing down on this because a lot of times we get very emotional about the work that we've put into something versus being emotional about the transformations that we create. And for me, I've always been in business since I got started, not because I care about the work that I've done, but about the impact that I have left. So, anyways, I never became an author to sell books. Nope. Ladies and gentlemen, I never wrote a book because I cared about how many books I would sell, becoming a bestseller, none of those things. I literally became a book because I knew, well, after spending over what, $10,000 for a weekend training, then another $7,000 for a book writing course, over $17,000, I learned that the right book, leveraged right, can open into opportunities. So let me give you an example of how I used a book to make thousands of dollars. Okay. So I had a chance to speak at an event that was about 100 people. And this is the thing, I also want to share something to you. A lot of us think that in order for us to make six and seven figures, that we somehow have to be speaking at events with 1,000 plus people or 300, 400. Guys, do you know the sweet spot is 50 to 100 people events? If you can stay consistent at doing those size events and pitching your opportunity to those qualified audiences, if they're qualified, right? Because that makes a difference. You can build a 6 to 7 figure business. So anyway, so I had a chance to speak at an event where it was 100 people there. And I found out on average, most of the people that were there spend $500. Well, today, and I'm just going to be transparent, y'all, for those who are watching through Google, you're going to get an opportunity to invest $1,500 with me today. Yep. I'm just going to tell you what the price point is. It's $1,500. But this is the deal. Is it, and I want to ask y'all this in the chat. Is it more likely for someone who spends $500 to be at an event that they'll invest $1,500? or someone who just only wants to come to the free ski stuff? Are they more likely to spend $1,500? Who's more likely, the one who paid 500 or the one who paid nothing? Right? Put it in the chat. Let me know, guys. Let me know. And so, because I'm speaking at this event, and I know that on average, that was the average. Some people spent more, some people spent a little less, but they spent $500. What I did was a unique experience for this speaking opportunity. Correct, Marshawn, $500, right? I did not come to sell books. I came with 25 books. And what I did was I made an opportunity for everybody in the audience to schedule a call with me by the time I was done with my talk. Okay? I gave away 25 books to people who had scheduled their call. Out of the 25 people, which, by the way, way more people submitted their information. So I didn't just walk away with 25 leads. But out of the 25 people, and this was a discovery session. So mind you, I do an entire, it's like a 30-minute talk. And then I offered everybody, but I offered them to get the book at the beginning. So people were actually getting my book as I was speaking from those 25 people, because these are people who spend money on themselves. It is more likely as well that they're going to show up to the call. If you go to an event and you're always at an event where people don't have to pay money and you want to give away 25 books in exchange of them getting on your call, they are less likely to do so, right? They're less likely to do so. I mean, matter of fact, y'all, I have a lot more people registered for this webinar than actually showed up. And so I'm not going to just give my book to someone who hasn't necessarily qualified themselves. But out of the 25, 13 people showed up. From that 13 people, I offered a package where 6 people signed up. I did over $10,000 in sales. It cost me maybe $150, not even that, for the books. It was way less, like $100 or $50, right, to print the books. How many of you guys would do this over and over again? See, this is a one way. Like, when you get booked, how are you going to turn that booking into profits? And so we're not just going to be talking about getting booked on today. We're going to be talking about how to be profitable. Is that good, everybody? Is that good? Because I noticed Marshawn was the only one to actually type. So let me just say this, y'all. If we don't get participation, I ain't got to stay on this webinar all day. This is a Sunday night, child. So let me tell y'all something. I don't do webinars for free. In exchange of me doing this webinar, I need participation. That is your paid entry for today. So if we're not participating, I ain't got to neither. I'm just letting you know. Y'all ain't paid nothing to be here today. All right. Amen. Hallelujah. Okay. So the 2026 shift, guys. So today, it's not about motivation. I'm not here to motivate you, which is also why it is vital that I need participation. This is about communication, but this is also about creating transformation, helping you guys to really get on these stages, really get on the podcast, really get on the media, right? So today we're going to be talking about why you need to get more visible, how to get more visible. We're going to talk about the BPC Visibility Blueprint and my 30-day visibility game plan. Okay. And so with that, again, I'm going to go through some of these things on stream, but if you are watching on stream, once we get through part 1, if you want to see the full training, you're going to have to go to visibilityintoprofits.com. You're going to need to join the community and then go to the calendar, because this is limited to only those who are actually in the community. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the first thing. So the first thing I want you to know, there is a thin line between authors, speakers, and coaches who are getting booked and those who are not. There's a thin line, right? Matter of fact, I just want to, personally toot my horn real quick. This is me with John C. Maxwell. I had a chance to speak at an event a couple years ago. How many of y'all know who John C. Maxwell is? So I had a chance to speak at an event with John C. Maxwell that he actually spoke at. It was a huge opportunity. And what's funny about this event is the person that was doing the event I actually know. But I didn't just get booked because they said, hey, can you come and speak? I pitched myself. And so if you want to get booked 9 times out of 10, guys, until someone starts coming to you, in order for us to get booked, we have to position ourselves and pitch ourselves. Okay. So being on TV, media, magazines, billboards, speaking stages. Okay. Florence knows who John C. Maxwell is. Awesome. Only Florence knows, but awesome. So good. Now I had a gentleman Okay, Lexi knows. Awesome, Lexi. Thank you so much. So I had one of our members, right? And I was doing a strategy session, a coaching session with him. And I'll never forget this. I added this to the presentation because it was just, I know there's so many other people who could probably relate to just putting their stuff out there. And he said, T, listen, I sent my book to Oprah and her people, and they have not gotten back to me. Right. And so while I'm telling you guys, yes, it's important to pitch, we also have to make sure we position ourselves and build ourselves up. And so I asked him, I said, have you Googled yourself? Because trust and believe that when you send your stuff to these people, the first thing they're going to do is look you up. And I want to know, when you Google your name, what actually comes up? What information is on the World Wide Web about you? What is it that other people are saying? And it is your responsibility. I want y'all to hear me here, that if you want to get booked on more platforms, you need to get booked on platforms. Like, people need to know that you are being booked. And I know that sounds weird, right? But the truth is that most people don't really, especially if it's an established platform, they don't want to bring you on their platform if you haven't established yourself. And the way you establish yourself is by getting booked on many other platforms. Yes. And so now you might be saying, well, Taria, I'm getting booked. I'm on the stages. I'm on the podcast. I'm on the platforms, right? But I'm still not getting no ends. I'm not making any money. Y'all, let me just also say this too, that when you are on these stages, your number one goal, and if you're not doing this, if you're not doing this, please listen to me, should be collecting coins or contacts. And I don't care what audience I'm speaking in front of. If I do B2B business or B2C, I don't care. I need to be collecting leads, because ultimately a B2B business still is B2C. Hello? Somebody owns the business. Somebody owns the corporation. Somebody owns or runs the school. And so I need to be generating leads every single time I get on the stage. And if I'm not generating leads, I should be generating some coins. So coins are contacts. Now, here's a reason why, another couple of reasons why when people get booked on those stages, they're not making money, because they're only up there to sell a book. And I'm just going to be honest, y'all. I told y'all, I never wrote a book to sell books. Matter of fact, let me tell you something. If my only goal when I became an author back in 2012 was to sell books, I would have been out of business a long time ago. Because to make a substantial income just selling a book, it requires a lot of sales. But because I leverage my book, guys, the other day I went to a networking event with one of my collaboration books that I'm in. Do y'all know, by me giving that book to a qualified, now, not all the time do I give books, I sell books sometimes too, but I gave that book to a qualified person. Now, guess what? They in my DMs right now. Hey, sis, I want to talk to you about, let's do some business together. Because I gave them a book, but I don't get on a platform just to promote the book. I'm on the platform to promote transformation. Are y'all with me? I'm on a platform to promote transformation. I don't ever get on a platform with the intention of only wanting to sell my book. Also, collecting leads. Always, always, always collecting coins or contacts, ladies and gentlemen. You need to have something in place that allows you to collect leads. No follow-up system. How many of you guys don't have a CRM? So that means an email system, text message system that can email the people, that can text them, that can call the people. Like our system that you guys probably got a text from, it can call you, it can email you, it can send you calendar invites, it can do all the things. Guys, you got to have follow-up systems, because this is the thing. The fortune is in the follow-up. And if you're not going to follow up, guess who will? Somebody else, because the algorithm listens. So if the algorithm sees you looking at Jane Doe who does XYZ, all of a sudden John Doe that started popping up, because the algorithm is like, okay, they like this. Let us start presenting the. Am I lying or am I lying? So now we're setting that person up to be in front of someone else. And the truth is this: most people typically do not invest until 7 to 10 touches of your information. So you literally have to talk to someone and present them with your opportunity. That means this is how much it costs. How do you want to get started? 7 to 10 times. So if you're not following up, think about it, y'all. How many times have y'all been messaged by Amazon this week, Temu this week, and whatever other websites y'all buy from? If you go to Best Buy, did they message you just one time? No, they message you a ton. Yes, Florence said 50 plus. And guess what? They don't care about worrying you to death. While we over here worried about, oh, I don't want to text people too much. No. Baby, I don't do this because I just feel like it. I am purposed to do this work. So guess what? I got to remind you sometimes, multiple times a day. I don't care. And if you don't want it, you will simply unsubscribe. You have to follow up. So you're not having a funnel. You're not following up. Some of y'all do got people on your list. It's funny too, because we offer opportunities for our members to speak on our stages. And every single time I give them the registration list of people who registered. Do you guys know? It's some of y'all on here right now. I know for a fact you don't email your list. You know how I know? Because I'm on the list and I never see your emails. So how is it that we can say I'm not making no money when you're sitting on 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, some of y'all thousands of names of people who right now are looking for what it is that you have to offer? You will, I promise you on everything, I love y'all. And I know this may sound crazy. Nobody's just going to go to your website and buy your high ticket product. People are not just going to go to your website and just say, you know what, let me see what Jane Doe is selling. Let me just buy it. No, you have to constantly make sure that you're reminding them about what the transformation it is you offer. I'm telling you guys, we are over inundated with information, and it is our responsibility to stay in front of them. Guys, visibility is the new currency. It literally is. And so we're talking about being visible because I was talking to a young lady the other day. I just joined this community of women, of high earning women. I can't wait to make the official announcement, but I can't really tell y'all the name of the community until February, child, till I get my blazer, right? But anyway, so we had a luncheon, and these are all women who are doing 7, 8, 9 figures. And one of the ladies was telling me, oh, yeah, I just got a chance to speak at Black Enterprise. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. I was like, so how many leads did you get? She was like, oh, no, 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 no. This wasn't one of those types of events. We can't get leads. Girl, bye. Yes, you can. There's always a way. When you get visible, you have to turn that visibility into some kind of way of currency, whether you repurpose it or what. And then I said, well, what content do you got? You got anything from nothing? And so, by the way, let me tell you something. One thing about your girl is that it don't get me on the Black Enterprise stage because everybody's posting about it. Now, what I'm going to do is get the content from that, retarget that content, I'm going to find every single person that's posting about it and slide up in their DMs and invite them to my next step. Like, it's never hard to create opportunities. And so when you get visible, guys, you got to have a game plan. Visibility with no game plan will equal no currency. Does that make sense, y'all? Visibility with no game plan equals no currency. Now you might have a game plan, but no visibility. That also equals no currency. You've got to get visible, but you've also got to have the game plan in place so that you can be profitable. Amen, everybody? Amen. So why do you want visibility? Why do you want to be visible? Well, we've been talking about this, right? And so hopefully you want to get visible because of course you want to make money. But the question is this, y'all. You should also want to get visible because you have products to sell. Maybe you have a coaching program to sell. Maybe you have services to sell. Maybe you have a retreat. Do you know? I'm definitely going to find this article because I keep talking about it. Right now, one of the largest spaces for people in the information age is retreats. More people are becoming millionaires that are hosting intimate retreats with high earning customers. Now, high earning, this is the thing. Someone who makes 6 figures a year, 7 figures a year, 8 figures a year, all have challenges in a specific area. Your job is to figure out how you can create something to solve one of their problems. That is how you get to the money quickest. Stop trying to save everybody who's not necessarily able to afford your services. What we do is we quickly learn or quickly create a product or service that helps create transformation when people can afford us, make enough money so then we can go back to help those individuals who can't. But you've got to understand your visibility is not about getting on the platform just to only sell the book. It should be something beyond it. It should be what the transformation is. And your transformation can come in many ways, shape, forms, and sizes. It doesn't just have to come in coaching. Does that make sense, everyone? So why do you want to be visible? You got to think about it beyond. I don't just want to get visible because I just only want to get up here and talk. And, I love to speak and I love to do the things. But no, I got to make money. And so how am I going to make money so that I can empower and change more lives is by offering whatever my products, my service, my retreat, my books, all those things. We got to create opportunities so that we are closing more deals, right? Every single time you speak, you should be collecting coins or contacts. Every single time. And I don't care if it's in front of 5 people, 500 people, or 5,000 people. You should always find a way. And one of the things that I know for a fact, guys, that separates the way that my mind thinks, even in the example of the Black Enterprise, like, baby, I'm not about to be on somebody's Black Enterprise stage and not figure out a way to get leads. And that's where we help you, right? Does that make sense, everybody? And so we should always be collecting coins or contacts. Now, let me just tell you a little bit about myself in case you guys have never heard of me or heard about me. My name is Taria, pronounced with a like Maria with a T, Taria Vision of I. I'm a 2 times TEDx speaker, founder of Book Profits Media, author All Stars Magazine, the Vision Impact Network, and Book Profits Club. Guys, I have been blessed and I am so grateful to God, all because of God, to be able to be in this coaching space full time. I've never been a part-time entrepreneur. Honestly, y'all, it doesn't mean that I've always made full-time income, but for the most part, I've been a full-time entrepreneur. Well, I have been a part-time. Let me stop lying. I was a part-time entrepreneur around 1999 up until 2006. But became a full-time entrepreneur at that point. But since I've gotten into the coaching space, I've never been a part-time coach. I've always been a full-time coach and been able to be one of the top income earning coaches in my space. And I've learned so much in this process of being able to help not only individuals to become published authors, but also coming back and showing them how to be profitable. And I've spoken on some of the biggest stages, some of the biggest podcasts in front of thousands of people, multiple countries, over 10 plus countries, audiences as large as 10,000 people. God has been truly good. And the reason why I got into this coaching space, well, first of all, we do this morning devotion, right? Our morning devotion every morning at 8:30. And one of the questions that we asked on Friday was, what is your spiritual gift? And I posted it in the chat. I don't know, in our community. And I don't know if everybody saw that post, but asking everybody, like, what is your spiritual gift? And thank you to Dr. Rhonda Boyd, who actually gave a test that helps everybody. Well, for me, like, teaching, AKA coaching, has been my spiritual gift for as long as I can remember. Like, my primary, I believe we all have multiple, right? But you have a primary. My primary has always been coaching. I've always loved it. And I don't know if that just came from, of course, definitely from God, I know for sure, but if it was also passed down just because of me observing my father. But one of the things that I noticed is that, a lot of authors, a lot of coaches weren't making money. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you when I really figured it out, because I remember when I got into this book space, I was just going to do like collaboration books and stuff like that. I remember doing trying to put out a book project where I wanted to get 10 entrepreneurs who are making over 6 figures. And I had the hardest time finding 10 entrepreneurs that were making 6 figures. And I was surprised. Honestly, I did not realize the statistics were so like way off than what I thought or what I knew. The research shows that 80%, and this is 80% of speakers, coaches, entrepreneurs, business owners, book authors, a lot of them, 80% of them do not make over $10,000 per year in that business. 80%. Now, I know a lot of people who are part-time entrepreneurs who make a significant income, maybe in corporate, and then they do this on the side. And so it's not as a priority, but majority of most speakers, coaches, entrepreneurs, business owners, authors do not make over $10,000 a year. And especially talking about our authors. And so what I did was, because I helped a lot of people write books, I started interviewing some of these authors that we had helped. And I realized that many of them, in my mind, I was like, okay, we got the book. Now it's time to go out there and win. And many of them just did not know how to turn that book into multiple streams. Matter of fact, one of the number one reasons why I also come across a lot of people who have not written their book but are business owners is because they don't understand how a book is one of the best marketing tools to help you grow your business. And so what I realized is that many speakers, what they were doing is they were focusing on just trying to make money from the book instead of using the book, leveraging the book to actually make money with their other products and services. I want everybody to hear me on this. As a matter of fact, do me a favor, type this in the chat. Book money is no money. So if you're only becoming an author to sell books, like I never became an author to sell books. I use my books. My books are my best marketing tool. They talk about me better than I can talk about myself. I got booked to speak on a major platform next month because I didn't just send my application, baby. I knew I wanted to speak and I was not going to get a no. I sent him my books. My book talks about me better than anything else. So here's a couple of things that you're going to need to also have in place. You need to have some tools to automate your business. You need to have a keynote talk to sell your product or service. You need to have a converting capture page. Many of you guys said, I don't have a CRM. Well, do you have a landing page set up? That is not a website, but a landing page. A technique to get on more book webinars and workshops. Right? You need to get more of them. You need to get on more platforms. You need to be speaking more. Y'all, I'm telling you, the more stages you get on that you are able to effectively collect coins and contacts, the more money you will make. Yes, I see you guys in the chat. Thank you so much, Mo, Mary, Lexi, Florence, Marshawn, Erica, Vernon. Thank you guys so much for playing full out. I just want to also say this too. Imagine when you're doing your webinar and you are getting people to engage and nobody's engaging. And so I'm just a big believer that how you sow is how you reap. And so I don't get on a webinar unless I'm ready to be fully engaged because that is the type of reception I want when I'm doing mine. So that's why it's powerful that you guys are participating and I appreciate you guys. Also, a profitable success funnel, right? A media kit. How many of you guys have a media kit to pitch yourself? Like you got to have this. Do y'all know we're pitching clients right now? And one of the things they're asking is they want to know, does this person have a media kit? Why? Because certain platforms that have earned this platform to be a reputable, notable platform, they want to make sure that the people that are getting on their stages are serious about their craft. And then many of us need a coach. So understanding your leads, right? So regardless if your business is B2B or B2C, you're still generating leads, right? So you should be going from cold leads to customers. Now I'm not going to go into all of this today, but this is a training that we're providing to all of you guys. At no additional cost when you join the community, and you can join the community for free. But every single one of us every day should be generating new leads. A cold lead is someone who is not on your email list. They could be a follower on your social media. To me, somebody following me on social media is not a warm lead, because if social media says tomorrow that I can't log in because of whatever reason, I've lost that contact. I don't own that person. I don't own that contact information. We don't own no persons, right? Correct that. We don't own nobody, but I don't own that contact information if they're not in my database. Where you really want to be focusing on is getting those cold leads to become warm leads. When they become a warm lead, you now nurture them. Like, let me ask you a question, y'all. For those who have not invested into my visibility package yet, how many times have you seen me speak? Just type in the chat. Let me know. If you have not, or you might be like, what is the visibility package, right? If you don't know what the visibility package is, then you probably haven't invested it. So how many times have you heard me speak, right? Look, 20 times. It takes many people multiple times before they become I want to invest into that package, right? And so you've got to be nurturing those leads. It's not a one-time give up. Okay, I did it, Tari, I'm done. Matter of fact, can I just give y'all some reassurance real quick? It takes about 90 days of consistent, listen to me guys, and not consistent hard activity. Like, y'all, I went and did Pilates the other day. Pilates is a 1 hour class, not 10 hours. It's hard as heck. It ain't easy. But baby boy, baby girl, I've been consistent with working out. Not as much as I want to, but enough to where I'm seeing the results. We always try to go and say, you know, I'm fired up, I'm motivated, I'm gonna go talk to 100 people today. That's not sustainable. You need to every day be working towards building your business. And that's every day connecting with new people, building out your business and nurturing them through what is called your success funnel. Okay. And so I'm not going to go into all of this, but just know that every single one of us should have some kind of premium product, service, coaching, experience. Again, it could be a retreat. It could be a retreat. It could be a dinner. Shucks, we do a dinner once a quarter for high earning women in 4 parts of the country. We're going to Houston in a couple months, myself and Deanna Jean. It's $200 to come to that. So that is a middle price product. And then from that, we tell everybody about the retreat that she actually hosts, which, by the way, if anybody wants to go to Punta Cana, let me know. If you want to go to Punta Cana, let me know. We've got about 2 or 3 spots left. This is going to be it's an intimate retreat that myself, Deanna Jean, Chanel Evans, and then a couple of our incredible community they get to come to. But guys, we're not you and by the way, you never see us really promoting the high ticket products on social media. That's another conversation. I ain't gonna get into that. But you got to be thinking about these. I know you're like, I thought we was talking about getting visible, but this is the problem, y'all, because we go and get visible and we don't have any kind of game plan as to how we plan to leverage that visibility into profits. Are y'all with me, y'all? All right. So you got to build out your success funnel. You're going to have 4 items: your hook item, your core item. I'm sorry, your hook item. Then it goes to your intro, which is your book. Hello, your core and your premium. Some of you guys already have even a collaboration book. That is an intro item. You should be taking your books everywhere with you. You should never leave home without them. Amen. And then you have your core and then your premium. Okay. So this is an example of a speaker sheet too. This is just one part of a speaker sheet. It's like a example, but this is why people do not get booked, y'all. No authority materials, which we're going to talk about, no clear message, and no outreach system. Guys, we need to do that. Okay, and if you're interested in learning about this retreat, I'll what you just message me in the community. So everybody should be in the community. Just message me there, okay? So let's get into this. So if you're watching us on social media, I'm about to go ahead and end the stream. So if you're watching on social media, I'm going to end the stream. You need to go to Visibility into Profits and then join us in the Google Meets link. When you go to Visibility into Profits to join the community, you will then be able to see where you can go to the calendar and join in to get access to this training. All right, y'all. So everybody's watching on stream. I'll see y'all over in Google Meets. Okay. All right. Let's go. So everybody here on Google Meets, y'all stay here as I end this stream. I hope I didn't end the share. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, I'm just ending the stream real quick.